Hello friends, I am Chandrasekhar Mishra, a faculty member with Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. I teach accounting and finance as a subject. I also offer an elective called Mergers, Acquisition, Corporate Restructuring. So I welcome to this particular course on Mergers, Acquisition, Corporate Restructuring. Friends, if you look at any day's newspaper, you will find that X company has gone for acquiring another company, and this company has become a target. Different companies are exiting with M&A strategy. So this is a very common phenomenon nowadays, that yes, multiple M&A deals are actually happening, which was actually elsewhere in other countries quite prominently there, but nowadays we look at Indian market also, so many M&As are actually happening in India as such, whether it is domestic or foreign acquisition. Our companies have become prominent in acquiring different companies elsewhere. Like for one of the famous deal could be that we had the Tata group acquiring Chorus, the steel company, Tata going for JLR as an automobile company for that matter. So several examples can be there which says that yes, company is going for that. And also companies, why do they go for? Because for any company the growth is very much important. So growth can happen on its own, for that matter, that yes, the company can keep on introducing new products, company can expand its facilities, company can add on the plants and equipments for that matter and grow as well. So this type of growth is known as organic growth. But to go for organic growth, there may be little time involved, little or more time involved for that matter. So to avoid this particular time, which was known as gestation period in a project management context, so to avoid that time, company can also go for ready-made company available for as a acquisition. So that is called the M&A, or is also called inorganic growth. So we will be focusing in this particular subject on inorganic growth. It is called mergers and acquisition. It can be merger between two companies coming together and merging and forming a new company, or it can be acquisition where one company, company X acquires a company Y, Y is the target, and keeps the Y into its fold, and Y may continue its identity instead of merge, and subsequently Y can be merged with X also. We will talk about these things in detail in the different sessions. And so this is what, so M&A is taken as a business growth strategy for any company for that matter. Always companies like to grow because that is their existence, as such that they are actually existing in the market with new products, new technologies. Some companies also go for acquiring another company because of technologies, processes, better things in there, or better human resources, better skill sets available in that particular company. So it is not only product expansion, it also could be your techniques expansion or tools expansion for that matter, for which mergers acquisition can also take place. So we will talk about different M&A strategies, different types of merger and takeover techniques, and when the merger acquisition takeover takes place, if the as long as this particular company is friendly in nature, one company approach another company and they say we like to take over a company or like to merge with you, it is okay, it is called friendly merger. But always the other company, the target company may not be willing to be merged or to be taken over. So in that case, still the acquiring company like to persist, in that case it becomes hostile takeover. So they will try to adopt different tools and techniques so that the target company comes to their fold. At the same time, since target company doesn't want to be taken over, they will also like to adopt as many defense techniques so that they are not taken over. So finally the battle will take place. So there are several takeover battles that have taken place across the world, corporate takeover battles, and we will talk about few cases in our sessions also. So it is not an easy going that yes, somebody will like to take over a company and they are just sitting there and they are going to take over. They will also like to continue on their own. So we will talk about different takeover tactics as well as defense techniques adopted by other acquiring company or the target company for that matter. Then we will talk about, suppose the company would like to go for an acquisition. It is not that they are just going at some company just available. So company looking at its own existing business strategy will like to look for a particular target which fits the business strategy or the expansion strategy. So company has to analyze the strategy and then accordingly search for different companies, whether in domestic or international. So we will talk about how a acquisition search takes place, what are the different principles that can be followed by the acquiring company so that they get the best target. Otherwise there will be lot of regret in future. And to get the target also, once you get, you also, the company also have to go for a lot of due diligence. The due diligence can be spanning from financial to non-financial, like operations, marketing, etc. All those aspects to be considered when you look for a particular target. Otherwise, if you have not done the due diligence properly, then what will happen? Subsequently, when the acquisition has taken place and the integration has to take place, a lot of problems can be there which will come up then that time, because your due diligence was not done properly, which could have actually found out those problems earlier. So, we will also talk about different processes, aspects of due diligence when the M&A actually takes place. After talking about due diligence, we will also talk about valuation. Valuation is one of the important aspects of merger acquisition, because finally I have to, as an acquiring company, I have to pay something. Similarly, as a target, if I have to exit, I also have to get my value for the investment for that matter. So, how do I value? So, valuation in the context of mergers is a little different. It is not like same like stock market valuation as such, because you may have a company which is not listed. So, you have a quite closely held company which is also a good target for us. So, how do I value that asset? So, we will be talking about different valuation techniques from cash flow based, asset based to, we will also talk about comparable company or relative valuation methods. We will also talk about valuation of synergies, because synergy is one of the factor which is justified, which is taken as justification for any M&A to take place. Whenever a merger acquisition is announced, typically the companies will also say that, the key officials say that yes, this merger acquisition is taking place because these synergies are available. So, now can we value the synergies? Synergies could be in terms of cost reduction, synergies could in terms of revenue enhancement, all the synergies can be there. In fact, synergy is also one of the factor which drive the merger acquisition taking place in the market. So, we will talk about valuation, we will also talk about the synergy valuation. Then once the valuation has been done and target is okay, then target is ready for that matter, then once the merger takes place or acquisition takes place, what will be the structure? How are you going to pay them? Are you going to pay them in cash, or are you going to pay them in cash or shares? Are you going to merge the company? Are you going to just give the cash so the target company's shareholders do not continue in the new entity? What is the structure going to? What will happen to the employees of the company? What will happen to different companies, their plants, facility? Are you going to close down them or going to continue as such? Similarly, what will happen to the key officials? So, what will be the structure of the deal, so that there is smooth transition in future for that matter, so the integration is smooth for the company. Then also any M&A or takeover is governed by certain regulations in a particular country. For example, in India, to name a few, the Companies Act 2013, then SEBI takeover guidelines, then you have Competition Commission in India, those guidelines, they govern the M&A market. Besides the regulatory aspects of different sectoral regulators, for that matter, insurance acquisition, merger acquisition is taken care, also covered by the IRDA. RBI takes care, RBI gets involved in case of merger acquisition in the banking companies. So, those things are there. So, but we will be focusing on the what are the legal aspects of M&A, so that companies are well prepared, so they do not violate the rules and regulations of the country, so that the merger acquisition can take place smoothly. And then we will also talk about accounting aspects, what will happen to the books of accounts when the merger acquisition take place, how it is treated. And besides merger acquisition, companies also go for other restructuring, like they may go for splitting the company into multiple parts. They may go bring out a one company out of the major company and set it separately. So, it is called equity carve outs. So, company can split, company can go for spin offs, company also can go for equity carve out. So, what happens in that case? It is just reverse of the merger. Here merger is consolidation, whereas this restructuring actually leads to multiple organizations coming from one single organization, because the companies may feel that by splitting the company into multiple parts is going to be more valuable for the stakeholders. So, we will also talk about different alternative restructuring strategies where the company is split into multiple parts. So, with this we will be covering the entire aspects syllabus of this particular course, and this course is going to be having 8 weeks duration with 40 sessions of 30 minutes each. We are going to have real life case studies discussed in this class, as well as far as the valuation is concerned, we will be also looking at the valuation with the help of a spreadsheet like Excel. And I am sure this course is going to be interesting, going to be useful for the students pursuing business management or commerce for that matter, students who would like to specialize in finance for that matter. Even this course also can be taken as a course for this business strategy. So, business strategy as well as finance together can be taken, and this course is also going to be useful for the practitioners in the investment banking industry for that matter. So, I hope this course is going to be very much useful for those for the people, and we are going to have very good learning time for that matter. Thank you very much.